Hello everybody, I'm back working on this little guy right here. We are going to start the washes, and there are two that we're going to start with, and then the creases. But we're going to start with the washes, and you're going to do the exact same thing with both colors. Is we're going to start out with I'm using maroon. You don't have to. I want this kit to be a little darker than this one. So I'm going to use the maroon and then the blue, okay? And like both of these things, they stain the vinyl really quick. So you want to be kind of quick so it doesn't leave spots everywhere. So you gotta make sure that you have your gloves because you do not want your oils to get on the baby. And I sound like crap because I got some kind of virus or something. I don't know. It's raising havoc with me anyway. But I wanted to do this video. So I already put my half a tablespoon of distilled water in here. We are going to use the paint emulsion, and we're just going to add a drop. You don't need much of this stuff. You only need a little bit. And I add a drop. A drop. You don't need a lot. And then I just mix it up. And it makes the water kind of cloudy, which this is burgundy. And when I put it in here with this white, it's going to dull it a little bit. So when I was using my medium stuff, it didn't do that because it was clear. So I'm going to use one brush, which is the front side and the back side. If you didn't know, that's how you gauge how much you use. So it's like cover the paintbrush and mix it really well in here. And it is acrylic paint, so it has like, it kind of like bunches up. So you want to make sure that you get all those bunches undone. And stir it up. There we go. See, now it's this color, it's more like a wine. See the difference? It made it lighter. And I'm doing it like this because I think that is going to be good. It's see-through, but not see-through, see? And that is what you got to learn by trial and error, is how thick and how watery you want stuff because of how it looks. Okay, now I have some brushes, some sponges left over from other ones, but I got some new ones that I'm going to use. So, okay, so I usually start on the head and the back, and I take a brush and brush it on. And like I said, you want to do it in small increments because red stains really quickly. So I'm only doing a little bit. And I probably should use a new sponge, but it's okay. That's not really that critical. You should use a new sponge each time, but I don't like to waste stuff. And I've only used this sponge once before. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see the difference between here and here which you can a little bit see it's more pink than the rim. And that's how you know that it's right. So we did the back. Now we're gonna do behind the ears, around the neckline, okay? And you can go up the temple right there. Just do small, little small increments. Now you're doing this in front of you. You can see yourself. It's hard to do it on video, where it's hard to show you where the paint is, and you want to make sure you don't get any pools of paint, okay? And I don't know, I can see a difference, but you probably won't. You can see a difference. So you're going to do the same thing on the other side. The other side. And you're going to do the exact same thing with the blue. You got to be real careful with the blue though, because that really stains quickly. So you don't want to leave this on a long time. That's why I'm only doing small increments, because I don't want it to stick. I mean, I do want it to stick, but I don't want it to pull up. And you have your other brushes here that you can get, that you'll need to use when you start doing inside the ear. Now, I don't know if you can tell. Let's see if I can get this out of the light. Okay. You can tell that the ear is plain, and then around here is like a pink. And that's what you want. So now we're going to do the forehead, top of the head. Okay. I'll do that. And like I said, you'll be able to see it yourself when you're doing it, but on video, I don't think you can see it very well. And if you think your sponge is got too much paint in it, you can squirt it out on here. You can get rid of it. And make sure you don't get any hairs, which I have gotten. Just a pain in the neck to get off. I just don't want to have like blotches of red in places, which, I mean, it could be okay. You can make it work. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. You can see the forehead is red. The forehead is pink. And down here is normal. You see? And it's not a tremendous lot, but you can tell a difference. And now we're going to do the eyes, the nose, the mouth. We're going to do all of it. Get paint in all of it. Inside the ears. Around the ears again. On the ears. What the heck? On the chin, underneath the chin, in the ears. Man, I hate having a cold. I'd rather have a tummy upset, honestly. I can't stand having a cold and not being able to breathe. Stuffy nose and bleh. Okay. Now we kind of let it set for a minute, and That's okay. Now we're going to use the same color for creases. So it's going to be a little bit before I do that. So it'll probably be dried up. I'll have to make a new batch. But typically I can do both washes and then go right in to doing the creases with this same thing. And I'm not going to be able to get into these little crevices in here. But I'll show you what I mean. See this little paint? This little paint inside there, inside his mouth and his nose. You need a brush to get that out. So I will use the brush. To get that out. I don't know why my nose is so stuffy. You just kind of pouts the brush and so it sops up the excess paint. And get the crud out of there. Make sure I get it all. All right. Cut it off, and I can, because there's paint on this sponge, you can go through and just pounce the ears so that they're a little more pink. And you could do the same thing to the cheek area, in the chin, in the nose. It just adds a little more pink. There we go. All right. So there's the red wash. Now you're going to do that with the limbs. Yeah, I can show you with the limb. You can see the different color. See? Pink and not pink. And that's what you want. I don't want it real red, because we're going to be adding more layers and stuff. And what happened with this one is that some of the red took really heavily over here. You can see it. It took red really heavily right there. And there's not a whole lot I can do about it now. It will just be a birthmark. End up being a birthmark. And that happens, you know, you just gotta, because I'm not gonna strip it. I mean, I could take some water and kind of dampen it and kind of spread it out. We can try see if that works. But sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so there is our red wash. I'm gonna go through and do the whole thing with the limbs. You gotta do that with the limbs and then let it dry. Doesn't take long. Okay. So I'm gonna do the rest of the limbs and call it a day. It's gonna take me forever to do this doll because I don't feel good. And I'm just trying to do a little bit every day if I can. And just try to get it going. Because preemies typically only take me about a week to do. Sometimes less than that if I have time. If I have the time to do it. And you can put more detail in this little piece of hair. There. Okay. So I'm going to do the rest of his limbs. and call it good for today. And we will see you in his next thing, which will be the blue. And you can go ahead and do that if you want, and I will be back and show you that one in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching.